And now I would request the High Commissioner, Mr. Wajid Shamsul Hassan, sir, to please come and share with us with your views. After you.
Wind up.
Your Excellency, diplomatic staff, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say how important it is for me to be present at this Kashmir Solidarity Day event here in the High Commission this evening. Tomorrow in Manchester we have a celebration that one of our brothers, Khan Moghal, was appointed an MBE in the New Year's Honours List, and we're having a celebration of that tomorrow. But I delayed travelling to Manchester for that because I regarded it as essential that I be present at this Kashmir Solidarity Day this evening. Your Excellency, as you will know, I have been associated with the Kashmir issue now for many years. I have visited Kashmir on a number of occasions, and I have not only been to Azad Kashmir, but I have also been to Indian-occupied Kashmir and seen the situation in Srinagar, in Baramulla and other parts of occupied Kashmir, and I've been to Jammu as well. And as a permanent reminder of the situation and the problem, the predicament and the tragedy, I have in my house in Manchester a rug showing the houseboats in Srinagar, which used to be one of the great tourist features in Kashmir, and of course now are deserted because tourists will not go there and it is too dangerous for them to go there. What I want to say, Your Excellency, is this. This is, by any standards, a paramount issue for the global community. It's a paramount issue for the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and the fact that they live under oppression and occupation, and they live in camps, and they live in ruined buildings, and they live a life in which they cannot earn their own living, and in which they are subject to what the Indian government does. And I've visited, as I say, the Indian side and seen from the Indian side what happens on the line of control. And let's be clear about this. This is a tragedy for India as well. The estimate is that there are 500,000 or 600,000 Indian troops in Kashmir. A country which has enormous poverty, a country in which 100 million people live below the Indian poverty line, spending vast amounts of money unnecessarily on the military in order to subjugate Jammu and Kashmir. So it's a bad issue for India. It's a terrible issue for the people of Kashmir who've got the right to decide their own future. And indeed the Security Council resolutions make that clear. The Security Council resolutions, let us never forget, which originated when the Indian government took the issue to the Security Council. And under the previous Conservative government, the then Foreign Secretary said that those resolutions were no longer valid. But our own foreign secretaries have said repeatedly that they are valid. And when Robin Cook was foreign secretary, he took risks in terms of alienating the Indians by speaking in India about this issue. And our present Foreign Secretary, David Miliband, has done the same. He has spoken out. And I think it's essential, as you say so, that our own government be very active indeed on this issue, and the United States administration, President Obama, be very active on this, because there are many dimensions to this tragedy. There are the dimensions of the fact that we have a confrontation between two nuclear powers, which have already fought through 3 wars on this issue. We have heard in the other speeches this evening about what has been happening in Pakistan. And it's not enough for the United States President to pay tribute to Pakistan for what that country is doing in this fraught situation and suffering as she has again this week in Karachi, where I was not too long ago. But it's important for the entire effort of bringing security to the planet, and the security and the integrity of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan are at stake here. And it is very, very important indeed that the international community take action to put this issue high up at the top of the international agenda. Next week I am going to have a meeting with our Prime Minister Gordon Brown, and that meeting originates from the visit to Gaza, which I paid, leading an international delegation of 60 parliamentarians from 13 countries only 3 weeks ago, and the suffering that I saw there, commensurate with the suffering of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. And I am having a meeting with our Prime Minister in order to discuss with him the consequences of our visit to Gaza and what needs to be done there by the international community. But I give you this undertaking that when I meet Gordon Brown next week, I shall also raise with him the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. Because these are the 2 basic unsolved international issues. As we've heard this evening, 63 years since the ruler of Jammu and Kashmir, for extraordinary irrational reasons, adhered Jammu and Kashmir to India, and 62 years since the tragedy of the Palestinians began. So I am deeply grateful for the opportunity of being here this evening, on an evening which is indispensable for us to remember, and not simply remember, but be mindful for current political activity, what is taking place in Kashmir on Kashmir Solidarity Day. And I give you my undertaking that as long as I am involved in politics, it will be right at the top of the issues which I regard as essential to be resolved. Thank you very much.